What's up with the squad? Back with another video. Y'all seen the titles going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. I definitely appreciate every single one of y'all checking out my videos, sharing my videos, liking my videos, everything that y'all do. Have been having some issues with YouTube in general. I don't know what's going on. I know a lot of y'all have been commenting and comments have been deleted. Y'all haven't been notified. A long list of things, and it's honestly pretty sad. It's pretty messed up, but y'all know I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna keep striving for greatness. Keep putting out this information and do what I can. That's what I try to do. But y'all have Navarro on The View. She says some very questionable stuff. Some questionable stuff. You already know me. I got some receipts to back it. What she's saying. But let's check it out.
At the outrage over it, it is outrage. Saying that many presidents have made upgrades to the building while in office. They point to Obama building a basketball court or the Rose Garden being put in, and in the 40s, they made some changes to the White House. What do you make of that as a counterpoint?
They didn't demolish the White House.
Yeah.
I mean,
fair.
Yeah, they did things to the interior. They did things to the exterior. Look, the next president that comes along, if it's a Democrat, could very well tear up that horrible Mar-a-Lago patio-looking thing, that pavement that he put over the Rose Garden, and the Rose Garden can be replanted again. It may
I think one of the things is they just because it's President Trump, and I'm gonna compare just because it's President Trump, because I've seen what he's obviously what he's trying to create the ballroom and seeing what's going to be created, as I should say. And it looks amazing. I'm not even gonna lie, it looks fire. The things that Trump does, is fire. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'm a person that, if I would say if you ever come to our house, but probably not. But if you were to see our house, it's very chill. It's very chill. It's not a lot of things everywhere. I'm not a person that likes clutter. I don't like things put up everywhere. I love simple things to where somebody can come in and notice, different things instead of looking at a million things. I'm a person like that, luckily, I'm with a woman that literally loves, the same thing. We still have our differences on a lot of things. That's why we literally have two separate rooms. Not meaning that we obviously have our bedroom, but, I have obviously my space, it's kind of like my podcast, where I do my videos, man cave area with my game, my PC, Xbox, all of that stuff. And then she has a room as well, with, different things, a TV, fishbowl, different cool stuff, but, we love, those things. So when I see President Trump and him having, when I see the Oval Office, when I see that he's trying to create this ballroom and seeing how beautiful it is, and, just everything that, doing, I don't get how he gets all the hate, coming from Navarro saying, this thing and calling it this and calling it that. But then you look at Barack Obama and the things that he's done, especially when it comes to his library that he has. I haven't heard anybody say anything about that little ugly library that he got, but it's that, you get the hate for Trump, obviously, and it's actually sad. It's very sad.
Be exactly like, it might not be the rose bushes that Jackie Kennedy had planted there, but you can have an exact copy of the Rose Garden put in. The East Wing will never be replaced.
No.
It's getting replaced by some tacky, ginormous ballroom because Trump went to
crazy.
Europe and saw the big ballrooms that are there in the castles and palaces, and he wanted one for himself. It's so gross.
And it's not even for himself. It's just a simple, like, that is crazy. That's something that's so a big old ballroom just for itself. No, it's not that at all. It's something that I feel like we definitely needed. I feel like we need, with all the crime and stuff going on, the things that's going on, the United States is a very beautiful place. That's why a lot of people love, the United States. And I feel like when you have people like Navarro, they try to take that away, of the United States being so beautiful. She's a person that always brings up, historic places and this, that, and the other. So she should know, so having all of this and saying all of this is that you go to a different country and what do we see? We see attractions. We see different things, different places. And I feel like this right here, and on top of this, I love the simple fact, because if it was me, and obviously this is my second term, I would want to create, not even just at the White House, but different places to, give that. I feel like that's something that, especially coming from one, the best president. I was about to say one of the best president, we've ever had. I feel like that's something that's very historic of him doing, is that ballroom. And I know that it's going to look fire. I know they know it's going to look fire. And that's it, and that's all. I feel like it's definitely insane that they sit here and talk about him for putting something amazing, and adding, onto the White House.
So grotesque and so tacky, unacceptable. And again, not a peep from Republicans.
Another story this week is the Atlantic reporting that
it says not a peep for Republicans. If you go here, I want y'all to see something. And I almost forgot that quick. But this is Caroline Levitt. You have a news reporter doing the same thing that Navarro is doing. Check out what Caroline did.
Sounds like the answer is yes, he can tear down whatever he wants. And then secondly,
that's not what we're saying. That's a legal opinion that's been held for many years. And
interpreting it.
No, it's something that presidents have done for years and years. In fact, I have some photos here. Thank you, Pat, to show you the construction that's taken place on the White House grounds. This is the construction of the West Wing in 1902. Look at this, the construction of the West Terrace in 1902. These images look quite similar to what you and the American people are seeing today, the construction of the East Terrace as well. You look at the construction of the West Wing expansion in 1934. So, look, this is a legal opinion that's been held for many years. Look at, this is 1950. That looks a lot like what you were seeing today.
Can he demolish anything he wants?
What do you think
without
that
oversight?
rubble is? How did that rubble get there?
Right, so I'm asking.
She said right, exactly.
And then back to the donor.
Go ahead, Ray.
Many of them are.
They sound so ignorant. They try to get this reaction out of you. They try to make themselves sound good, and it's literally all right there. There's pictures. If they actually know, these reporters that's going here, if they actually know, they actually do their history. They actually look at the information on these things, they will obviously see it, instead of asking, and giving dumb statements. I'm telling y'all, and it's all right there. You'll find this everywhere. You obviously see
that more than 1/3 of new ICE recruits were unable to pass the academy's basic fitness requirements, which include completing at least 15 push-ups, 32 sit-ups, and a 1.5-mile run in under 14 minutes. The article cited internal emails that referred to some of the recruits as athletically allergic. I might have a slight athletic allergy myself. Does this surprise you?
No. Look up. And by the way, it's not just the physical exam that they're failing. It's also the civics exam. And I think if you are seeing the videos that are coming out of the interactions with ICE by immigrants and by American people, you see that there is lack of training. You see the lack of fitness, and you see the basic lack of understanding of civics and human rights and civil rights and constitutional rights and process. That helps you understand why it is that there have been at least 170 U.S. citizens scooped up. If you happen to,
I feel like the whole part when it comes down to, am I out? I'm so serious. This is like every single video. I don't know if it's something. I don't know what it is. It's literally every single video. I haven't sneezed all day, and it's every single video. What I was saying is, it's almost like, when they talk about, these ICE agents, I've seen people talk about, the National Guard. Let me tell y'all something. This is no excuse. One thing that I absolutely cannot take away from an individual is that people are wanting to see change. When it comes to the military, when it comes to wanting to be a ICE agent, when you want to see change in the world, no matter your weight, no matter if you can't, pass this exam, no matter what. One thing that I absolutely love is the simple fact that you have so many individuals of different skin tones, weight, height, trying to make a change in the world. You obviously see people, wanting illegal aliens, out, seeing a crime. So of course, you're going to have different individuals, and you're going to have that struggle. I've seen people that are wanting to go into the military, that are, in the military, that obviously struggle in different things. So when you say that, I guarantee Anna Navarro isn't, even if it was something else or anything, she couldn't, pass. So it's always the people that talk crazy, and say different things, At least they tried. At least they want the better, for their country, is what I'm trying to say.
Be black or brown or speaking Spanish, God forbid, somewhere on the streets of America, you can be racially profiled by ICE, and they scoop you up and they will stick you into the back of a U-Haul, or they will detain you and put you in some detention center before you have a chance to prove that you are a U.S. citizen. I have seen videos of a black teenager in Chicago pinned to the sidewalk outside of a CVS because he happened to be inside the pharmacy while they came in. I have seen video of an elderly black U.S. citizen man who was scooped up and thrown with dozens others to the back of a U-Haul. We have heard about U.S. citizens, Puerto Ricans, who have happened to be scooped up because they were at the wrong place at the wrong time, looking the wrong way and speaking the wrong language. So they don't understand.
You literally had people taunting ICE agents. Let's be real. You have there's probably been some instances, of course, and it's just like police officers. And I love speaking on this. It's just like police officers. Every police officer ain't a great police officer. There's some bad police officers out here. And I know my dad's a police officer. I have uncles that's police officers. I have friends that's police officers. So, and I know, and none of them are bad, but I know. I know for a fact. I was literally, I told you I was going to talk about this one day. Y'all have to remind me to have that story time. I was in the police academy for about 4 months. But when I tell y'all, I literally, you have bad police officers, you're going to have bad ICE agents. You're going to have people that's bad in the military. You're going to have those things. And that's, another talk for another day. You do need, to do things about those situations. But everything, so what I'm trying to say is, it probably is some instances, that there has been a bad encounter. But at the same time, when you having all these people that don't like ICE and like what they do, they're going to taunt them. They're going to do things to have them chase them. I watched multiple videos of people recording agents literally talking crazy, giving hand gestures, speaking a different language, literally trying to cause a scene so it can happen. These are things that Anna Navarro isn't going to speak on. And that's what I hate.
And constitutional rights. I mean, the fact that they are, physically unfit is the least of it. They don't have the civic knowledge to be able to do this. They have lowered the standards, which is ironic, right? It is ironic because these are the same people. These, Republicans in charge are the same people who argue that the reason that diversity, equity, and inclusion is a bad thing is because it lowers the standards for black people and brown people and women and gays and you name it. And yet, here they are lowering the standards for ICE agents. I heard somebody online call them the other day ice cream agents, because they look like they should be doling out ice cream, some of them. And you can see that some of the, people that they are targeting outrun them.
One thing that I hate is that you literally sit here and you're being disrespectful now. It was one thing to say, oh, they're failing this, they're failing that. But to say, that you call them, this ice cream, and saying that people are outrunning them. Literally, you're telling on yourself, first of all. And you're not making sense. How are you literally making sense at the end of the day? You literally have her saying that they're not passing, the test. They're doing this, they're doing that. Then you go and say that they're doing this to people. They're doing this to the elderly. They're doing this, they're doing that. And then now it's all they're outrunning them. So, I mean, it's... These ladies on The View never make sense, man.
You know,
I'll tell
because
you.
they look like they should be doling out ice cream, some of them, and you can see that some of the, people that they are targeting outrun them, or like wave goodbye to them as they go out on bikes. That's why they're doing horrible things like ramming people. You have seen small children, Brian. Think about this.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Small children zip tied. You have seen U.S. citizen children. You have seen small U.S. citizen children left abandoned alone in cars on a highway in Illinois because their parents got taken away. It is.
Hey, y'all, listen. There hasn't been kids abandoned. There haven't been kids and children zip tied. There, putting out stuff like this and saying things like this is the exact reason on why I love to do what I do today. To call out the BS, to call out the lies that they're putting out to be. Like I said, I will admit myself, just like any other job, everybody isn't great. I would love that. I'm sure everybody, would love that. But you're going to have people that will clearly mess things over, or do different things, different individuals, especially, you have, and I'm not saying by all means that, again, everybody is, when it comes to police force, military, ICE agents, even just, an individual at McDonald's, so with that being said, of what she's trying to do and I don't know what she's trying to accomplish. I guess to scare, her audience or the Views audience, or to make them not like ICE more and more, to where it's more so of, okay, well, y'all need to do something about it. I don't know what it is, but a lot of the things that she's doing right now is complete lies, and I hate to hear it, y'all.
Inhumane.
I hate to hear it.
It violates basic human rights, and the people that are carrying this out, should we be violent against them? No. But should we call it out? Every single time we should call it out, and do not buy the talking point of the Trumpers that want to say over and over again that these are gang members and these are criminals. That is a lie. The numbers show that 75% of the people that have been apprehended have zero criminal record. And many of those that do have a criminal record, it's for things like pot possession. And very few actually have gang membership, gang affiliation, or criminal records. Like a very small amount.
You, from the beginning.
Does she not know coming to this country is illegal? That makes you a criminal already. Like, that makes you a criminal. I don't know why she's saying this, but that literally makes you a criminal. I don't know why they continue to say that. I wanted to show y'all this. Let me go here. This is from Homeland Security. Y'all know I come with my receipts. I have to, write my stuff down. It says, despite the Democrats' government shutdown, our brave law enforcement officers are risking their lives without pay to arrest and remove the worst of the worst from our homeland. Here is a few criminals arrested by ICE agents yesterday. This is yesterday. So when Anna Navarro, when you hear a person say, very few, and this has been going on obviously for a long time, but you hear that very few, this was just yesterday. You have a German, a criminal illegal alien from Mexico, convicted of S conduct. I can't say the word, but it's against a child in New York. You have another person convicted of third degree assault and offensive touching. This is in Delaware. Again, another offense of somebody pretty dangerous. You have another illegal alien. This is from Mexico, convicted of aggravated robbery in Texas. This is everywhere. This is Northern District of Georgia, Atlanta. So you have illegal alien Mesco, convictions of importation of controlled substance and conspiracy to commit money laundering in the United States District Court. Yeah. You have another one. Here you just Edgar. Criminal illegal alien from Mexico convicted of conspiracy, possessed with intent to sell and distribute more than 50 kilos of marijuana in Texas. So you're literally having all of these individuals that I've already named, and there's more, but this is just from yesterday. So when you have an individual like Anna Navarro, and knowing of what she does, these are the same people that they, obviously have on the TV shows. They pay them millions of dollars, and you're literally having real individuals like myself that's literally putting out real information. And she's putting out these lies, saying it's very few. That's not very few. Probably from yesterday, but literally, like, it's over the course. Not to mention, the people want illegals out, not just the ones that have more offenses than others. So it's more so that that's how I look at things. You people obviously want, and this is from everywhere. We talk about Chicago all the time. They want that. They want the residents of Chicago. They want the illegals out. Not just the ones that have, and I see all the time that, oh yeah, they said that they were going, only for the ones that have the gang members and the ones, man, listen, it does not matter. Like I said, come across illegally, that makes you a criminal. Easy and simple.
Beginning supported removing people with violent.
I think a lot of people voted for Trump because he said he was going to go after the worst of the worst.
Right.
He was going to close the border, which he has done, and I think people are happy at that. But he also said he was going to go after gang members, people he called barbarians, animals, the worst of the worst. He is not going against the worst of the worst. They are targeting school children.
Yeah.
They are targeting law-abiding people who show up.
No, they're not. They're not targeting school children. If you look up, I literally just looked up. I looked up a lot of places. As far as schools go, they've arrested, individuals when it comes to adults, at these schools. That's obviously illegal. Not targeting children. Like, come on now. Like that literally makes no sense whatsoever. It makes no sense whatsoever. And on top of that, she's saying that he's not. I literally just gave y'all multiple individuals. That was from Homeland Security X account. Y'all can go look yourselves and see that was just from yesterday. I'm telling y'all.
For their immigration hearings, they are going down Canal Street, and then they say, right, like when they invade Chicago or they invade LA or they invade Portland, they say it's about crime, but it's not about crime. It's about immigration. The people that are getting picked up are the immigrants. And let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Have you heard yet, or have you seen video yet of a white, blue-eyed person getting erroneously scooped up?
No, I have
by
not
ICE?
seen that. No.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So then, it's absolutely racial profiling what is happening.
I'm not even gonna lie. That was very, y'all know the word. That was very, like, I'm not even gonna lie. That was very, and on top of that, what I don't get, especially out of Anna Navarro, her saying something like that, and this what makes it, it makes it really, it pretty makes it, it makes it funny because Sonny has to do it, amongst, when it comes to white folks. She does it, when it comes to black folks as well. But what's crazy to me is the simple fact that you have it's more so if they're everywhere. They're everywhere. They're talking points. You literally have in Chicago multiple, and I just obviously talking about Chicago, just like she's mentioning, or California, and you're having these individuals. We just seen a No Kings rally of a white it was a good amount of white people, and my thing is that you have these individuals there that is, and this is what what makes me mad, you know, with a lot when it comes to when it comes to them talking about white people, when it comes to them talking about black people, is that they literally will say things like she just did. And those same individuals, their audience, the people that's at the No Kings rallies, the people that, you know, when it comes to white people, black people, they constantly talk about them, you know, and they say things. And these are the same individuals that's supposed to be their audience, that's supposed to, you know, support what they're talking about. And she literally can make comments like that. And that's what's wild to me. I'm not even gonna lie. It's definitely wild to me. One thing about it, you know, I found this video as well. You know, this is from Judge Janine. It says, under President Trump's leadership, we're experiencing a reduction in crime never seen before in D.C. This video right here literally just goes to show you that actions speak louder than words. So when Trump is literally, you know, doing his best, you know, to send a National Guard, to close the border, to get these ICE agents out here to do what they need to do, what happens, do you think? Crime and everything, it goes down. But then you have people, you know, on the left that are obviously trying to stop that. They don't want to see Trump do great. But one thing about it, he's doing it every day. Check it out.
Hi, everyone. It's Judge Janine. It's Tuesday, September 16th. And last night, there were 59 arrests. 4 guns were taken off the street, bringing a total of 2,725 arrests and 265 guns that were removed from the streets pursuant to President Trump's executive order to make D.C. safe and beautiful. And that's exactly what the president has done. Right now, we are experiencing a reduction in crime like we have never seen in this district. Right now, there is a 75% reduction in carjackings. There is a 57% reduction in robberies, a 53% reduction in homicides, and an overall 39% reduction in violent crime. All while we continue to prosecute more cases because we're making more criminals accountable for their actions. There will be consequences. And thank you, President Trump, for giving us the ability, the resources, and the determination to actually make good on your promise to make D.C. safe again.
And one thing about it is that he's doing it he's doing it everywhere else. And I absolutely support it because it should feel good that you don't have crime. It definitely should feel good. And I'm not telling people, you know, obviously, you know, I get on here every day and I don't want to tell people who to vote for, who to be for. I don't want that ever to be even, you know, what my channel consists of. But what I do want to put out is the facts. Is the truth about what's really going on, you know, around the United States, around the world even, you know, because it's definitely important. And I know it's, I wish there are more people that, and I pray, you know, more so that more people pay attention to, you know, what's going on. Like, I see so much crime, you know, going on, especially here in Indiana. Indianapolis is definitely, you know, it's a lot of crime as well. You know, now I've been saying for a while, ever since, you know, Trump has, you know, been deploying the National Guard, that they need to, you know, I would want them here too. It's a lot of crime in Indianapolis, y'all. It's a lot of crime. You see it every day, you know, and it's just wild. You know, it's definitely wild. It's definitely sad that people don't want, you know, change. And I don't know. Y'all let me know your comments and thoughts down below. Definitely appreciate y'all. Stay tuned for the next video dropped. Catch y'all next one.